let's see if we get anybody in here. I know Garrett's also live right now, so I don't want to take away from that, but this is just the time that I had. What's up, Susan? Welcome in, Sprinkles. Just wanted to call and chat, catch you guys up on what's been going on. Talk about Hawaii a little bit. Because that turned out to be quite the interesting trip toward the end there. What's up, Adam? Alright, so we got a few of you guys in here. Just gonna be live till about 8:30 Pacific time. Headed down to Eugene, headed down to Sasha's place. So, hey, Crystal, what's up? Dreambird, Lay, Lindsay, what's up? Craig, Angela, Catherine, Farah, Pam, Leslie, Cindy, Candace. Thank you for the birthday wish. Appreciate that. Good to see everybody. Missed you guys. As you guys can see, I am in the 4Runner right now. So let me catch you guys up. The last time that I talked to you guys, aside from in chat, I've been making my rounds in chat. I sort of had a goal to, you know, drop a 100 bomb in everybody's streams, you know, aside from our own. Although I did kick Garrett a $10 super chat today, but that's still our thing. So I feel like I'd be super chatting myself $100. So I didn't do that, but I've been trying to do that for everybody else in our group, just to kind of like as my final thank you, so to speak. Appreciate the early birthday wishes, everybody. That means a lot. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I was a bit concerned with the tsunami too, but let me backtrack. So the last time that I streamed to this channel was when we almost had this thing home. Made it home, no issues, thank goodness. Although, real quick, I had mentioned the U-joints on the stream last time. Those were failing, as was the entire drive line. Like the drive shafts, both front and rear, were shot. The front one in particular was about to be done, and the rear was not too far off. So I got both those replaced today. So that was a pretty penny, but we're rolling with brand new U-joints, brand new drive shafts in this thing. We're working on getting a new lift kit. I got a whole bunch of new stuff ordered. Here, I guess I can actually put the camera on me here. Got a whole bunch of new stuff ordered for this. Well, I'll get to that in a second. So, timeline here. Got this thing home. And then I went to Bend, Oregon for a few days with Sasha and her family. That was a great time. It was kind of intimidating a little bit at times because I was meeting her entire family for the first time, like extended family, but still a great trip, beautiful area. So I got to enjoy that. So that's where I was kind of mid-month, or rolling into mid-month, and then I think around July 14th, 15th, I booked a flight, or so I thought. This is how scatterbrained I've been, you know, going into this story. It just is an example of how much my brain has been kind of moving around. And I'll look at chat here in a minute. Just so I'm kind of getting you guys up to speed on everything. But I will read chat here in a second. I had it in my brain that I booked my flight back to Phoenix like 6 days in advance. Like I loaded it up on the Alaska app on my phone. I selected my seat. I did all that, but I never checked out. And I forgot that I never checked out. Like in my brain, of all the things that I had to take care of, I already checked that off. So I had completely forgotten about it until literally my dad was taking me to the airport, and it was like I had this flashback. I'm like, did I book that flight? Like, I do not remember paying for the flight. That's what it was. I was like, I don't remember that charge hitting my card. And it wasn't an overly expensive ticket, but it wasn't super cheap either, so I would have noticed. And I was like, I don't remember that charge hitting my card. Like, I didn't book. I was like, don't tell me I didn't book the flight. I didn't book the flight. So I'm scrambling like last second. I didn't tell my dad this because he had already spent an hour sitting in traffic taking me to the airport. And I was like, okay, I'm leaving today. Like, I don't have time to sit in Oregon for an extra day. Because at the time, I was thinking I was still going to be able to do Garrett's lights in addition to everything else that we'd done. When in reality, what ended up happening was the lights did not get done by me. Huge shout out to Brandon Kopic, by the way, for doing the lights. That was a massive undertaking from my understanding. And he worked his butt off on that. So I tried to compensate him, as much as he'd let me. But huge shout out to him for doing that. But I needed that time, so we were on our way to the airport, and I was like, don't tell me this flight's fully booked. It wasn't, but there was one seat left, and it was a first class ticket, and I bit the bullet, and I paid way too much for a one-way flight. Way too much. I had to, because I didn't have time. I was on a very strict time schedule. But not paying attention cost me a lot. So flew back to Phoenix, grabbed a rental car, drove up to Prescott, because Garrett was out of town. Garrett was out chasing with Freddie at the time. So I had to grab a rental car, because at this point, I mean, the two people that I really knew in Arizona were Garrett and my roommate. My roommate was busy or asleep, one of the two, and Garrett was out of town. All my other Arizona friends had moved out. I really had no life in Arizona. Like, there was no point for me to stay there. It was getting to the point where either I move out and continue full-time chasing and move out east, or I go home, and I chose the latter, obviously. But yeah, I grabbed a rental car, went up to Prescott, and scrambled to get my stuff packed, scrambled to get Garrett's car as ready as we could. I was able to get most of it done. For some reason, the roof camera on his car, I'm sure you guys have been paying attention, has been giving a lot of issues, and I don't understand why, because it was a very flawless system, usually flawless system in the 4Runner. Like, the camera itself never gave issues, so I've been trying to mobily diagnose what is wrong with that camera, and I'm almost leaning towards it possibly, it was either related to the power brick for the camera itself, and now I'm thinking maybe the extension cord in the back fried the camera that they tried to replace it with, because we tried one of Brandon's old cameras, or they did. I keep saying we, it's not really me anymore. So that's been a whole other issue, but I'm hoping we can get that figured out for him soon, because I know chasing without a roof camera in this day and age is not, it doesn't cut it. You need one of those to compete realistically. But anyway, got everything all ready to go. I hit the road, I want to say the 19th. It was the afternoon of the 19th. I wanted to leave like the morning of the 19th if I could, or at the very least early afternoon. I didn't hit the road until 5:30 Pacific time. But my buddy Sean flew down and drove up with me in the U-Haul. The U-Haul was slow going. We did not break down. There were a couple spots where I thought we were going to. But we just kind of had to take it slow going through the passes. We were doing like 40, 45 miles an hour at times, and it was painfully slow. But we got all my stuff and the Charger, my other car, back home. We got a cop up here at some point. Interesting. Okay. Carol's still doing the mod thing. Dedicated to the end. Love it, Carol. Appreciate you. Shoot, what was this? I'm so ADD, I think. Okay, so I got back here. I have the garage that I'm renting for both my cars. already at my parents' house where I'm going to be staying for a little while. But basically, I'm holding on to stuff, so basically, I have a decent amount of stuff to start out with when I move out in a year or two. But that's my plan, is to spend no more than 2 years at home, kind of rebuilding myself financially, and then ideally, if I can swing it, I'd like to just start getting a mortgage on a house and not even have to pay rent. But in all likelihood, I'll probably end up having to rent somewhere, at least for a little while. But if I can somehow afford to, I'd love to be able to just kind of get into home ownership right away. But yeah, I got all my stuff moved in, returned to U-Haul, did all that. Then I addressed this thing, cleaned it for the first time. Took it through an actual car wash. It's a touchless car wash, but it's still one of the ones that you actually drive into, and it's not a self car wash. That was the first time I've been able to do that with this thing in about 2 years, because all the stuff on the roof, all that stuff is gone now. I was able to painstakingly get that weather station mount off the roof, so there's no more weather station up there. The WeBoost is still up there, but I mounted it much, much lower. I think this car is probably 6'10", 6'11" inches in height now, given everything that's up there. The side light bars are gone. I just tossed those. I couldn't get them off without cutting the wires, but they were a $30 Amazon set anyway, so I just tossed them. The light bar still on the roof, the the sunroof cover is still on there. I'm gonna take that off. I don't need it anymore. I also don't need the light bar that's up top there, because for one, it's broken, and two, I don't really have a use for it. I've still got a light bar up front in the windshield, kind of behind where you guys are sitting, and I also have the 4 super bright ones on the back, and I figure that's fine. I mean, like I said, I don't really plan on chasing in this anymore unless it's very locally. So, because it's just too far out there in miles. I don't really want to take it on a far trip anymore, any long distance trips anymore. I mean, so I want to stay in Oregon. Yeah, definitely. At least for a while. But yeah, got this into a shop right before I left. Told them I thought I needed U-joints. It did need U-joints, both front and rear again, but it also needed entirely new driveline. So the drive shafts, both parts, were replaced today. So brand new drive shafts, brand new U-joints, freshly greased. I just have to make sure to re-grease them every time I get an oil change. For the love of God, I need to remember to do that so I don't have to deal with this again. I don't think I'd ever put enough miles on this thing to really have to deal with it again, at least not in the next 5 years. Assuming I have this for this long. I probably will. I mean, I don't know, unless I just give it to a junkyard at some point, but I don't think I'd ever do that. Maybe I will, who knows. But then I went to Hawaii. Hawaii was great. It was awesome. I'm very lucky that I was able to go with my parents. I mean, if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't be able to go. I could barely afford the flight tickets for Sasha and I there. At that point, that pretty much broke me. So the fact that I was able to stay at that condo with them, and they let us do that, I'm very grateful for that, because it was right there on the beach. It had its own beach there at the condo. It was awesome. Super beautiful weather every day. One thing I always forget, but then I remember when I get there, is it's almost I forget which there's I don't necessarily want to call it a sea breeze winds, but maybe it would be. I don't really know exactly what that's called in terms of interaction with islands, but basically a dependable daily breeze of 15 to 20 miles an hour consistently coming off the ocean. It kind of kicks up bigger waves that are fun to ride, and it also just kind of, even though it gets 90 degrees and the sun's just blazing, it really cools you off. It's really a very pleasant experience down there. So I had a blast with that. Had a lot of great food. Not really a big sushi guy, but I did end up having a little bit of sushi while I was down there, and it was delicious. Had this amazing pizza place, and had fresh fruit from down there too. I never had pineapple though. I that was great. And then we pretty much kind of just went around. We did mini golfing, went to the Maui Ocean Center. It was awesome. Then rolling around to the last day. First off, got this new tattoo, lightning bolt on my bicep there. As I was getting this done, this is the last full day. I left on the 30th, so this was the 29th. I'm sure all of you heard about the tsunami warning, or the good majority of you probably did. As I'm getting this, I didn't get any alert on my phone yet, but Bryce, like Paige and Bryce, like Bryce Shelton, he texted me, and he was like, "You gonna get to higher elevation, or are you staying put?" And I was like, "What?" I'm mid-tattoo, like they're about halfway done with this tattoo, and I'm on my phone with my left hand, and I'm scrolling, just trying to keep my mind off of the pain, because there were certain parts of this where it did hurt a decent amount. And he started texting me, and at first I thought he was joking, because Bryce likes to mess with me sometimes, and it's hard to tell when he's joking over text, but you know, I was like, okay, he's just screwing with me. But then I started to see other stuff pop up, and he keeps telling me about it, and then Connor says something, I'm like, what is happening? And then I'm starting to hear about this 8.7 earthquake, and I heard that first. I didn't hear where it was, and I'm like, 8.7? Like, holy crap. Like, if that's anywhere close, we need to run. Like, I'm going to have to abandon this tattoo halfway through and just dip. And I heard it was all the way over in Russia, which I was like, yeah, that sucks. It was close to land, but, like, you know, that's far away. So, like, if it just happened, like, we have time. And then I check on AccuWeather. I think it was just the first app that I looked at. Said tsunami watch, and I'm like, oh shoot, okay. But I've been in Hawaii one other time where there was a tsunami watch, because there was a much smaller earthquake, like a 5.0 or something in Alaska, and they were saying that it could have created some big waves potentially the following morning when I was at Hawaii, and they did. It did cause some bigger waves, and I went out and boogie boarded on them. But this was a much bigger deal, so I was like, oh shoot. But I was able to finish the tattoo, thank goodness, and they call this second skin. They got the protective layer on it and everything. I was able to pay and all that stuff. But this tattoo shop that I was at was literally, I could see the water. It was at sea level, basically, maybe 10 feet up. So I'm like, okay, we are not high enough right now if this is actually a big thing. Am I monetized now? I got approved for monetization, but I think I need to update my tax info or something. Because it didn't give me an option to turn on super chats or anything up here. I'm not really worried about it though, to be honest. I'm just on here to talk to you guys for a little bit. So I was able to get the tattoo all finished, and you know, the whole time my artist Tori, she was like, yeah, you know, this happens all the time. Like we'll be fine. And I was like, 8.7 though. Like, are you sure you'll be fine? And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, you know, we're probably going to go do something about this just because, you know, we're tourists. Like, I don't know how to deal with this situation really, but I got my whole family here, and when it comes to, like, natural disasters, I sort of feel responsible to keep my family safe. But I also wanted to try and make some sort of content out of it, so I just started posting updates to Twitter. That was the first thing, it was really the only thing I did. I just started posting video clips and updates. And they seemed like they got a fair amount of attention for my Twitter standpoint. Like, I tweeted, like, as a joke, right when that watch first got issued, I was like, wow, I picked a great time to go to Hawaii, and it blew up. Got like 200,000 impressions. I'm like, hello, what? And then so I just started posting updates. And yeah, we were trying to get all the way up to the airport, because we were down in Wailea, however you say it, and we were trying to go up and around, because there's one road that kind of goes up to the higher elevation, and apparently it's private property owned by Oprah. Didn't know that, but her road was closed, and there were two guys there down at the bottom who were not letting people through. We tried to go up that road, and it was blocked off, and they said we couldn't go through, so I'm like, shoot, we're going to run out of time. If there is actually a massive wave coming, we just need to get up. Like, we're probably going to get trapped, but we just need to get above where the water is going to go. So we went back to Wailea, and there is a neighborhood on the other side of the main highway there that goes up to about 350, 400 feet. We literally just drove up there, parked on the side of the road next to someone's house, and just sat there for probably like 5 or 6 hours. right after we got there, super nice lady, one of like the most friendly, hospitable people I've ever met. Her name was Stephanie. It was her and her son Crash. That's actually his name. He's badass. They invite us to go in, like if we need a bathroom, if we need water, anything like that. And at first we were like, oh no, we don't want to intrude. But then after a bit, we were like, yeah, you know what, we kind of do need a bathroom. And we didn't have time to get another case of water. We had 5 bottles of water between 6 people. So that was a big concern of mine. I'm like, if we're stuck up here for days, we don't have enough water, guys. Like this is not good. I mean, we had enough to survive if we had to, but like certainly not enough to be comfortable. And we ended up going into this lady's house. She lets us hang out in there and watch the news with her. Her son actually had a joint in his hand when I walked inside to use the bathroom, and he kept offering it to me. He's like, you sure? Like, you seem like you need to relax. Are you sure? And I was like, I'm good, man. Not right now. Like, I gotta focus. I cannot afford to be sitting here all lethargic. But that was just really funny. Like, he was not taking it seriously at all. I mean, just classic Hawaiian, just like chilling, you know, like just relax, take it easy, that sort of thing. That's really funny. She let us stand on her roof because from the roof you could clearly see the water. So I did post a quick clip on Twitter from that. Anyone who follows my Twitter, I did post that. And I was just like, you know, met a super nice local who lent us her roof. Once the sun went down, we eventually kind of went back inside, watched the news for about a half hour with this random lady who I had never met before. She just let my entire family, which was a party of 6, by the way, just sit in her living room and watch the news there. So we did that for a while, then eventually we were like, okay, you know, we've intruded enough, we're gonna leave. We were just sitting in the car for a while. Then Sasha and I got our own car. We ended up getting 2 separate rentals, just we didn't want to all have 6 pack into one car. So her and I were sitting in my rental car, and then the other 4 were sitting in my dad rented a Tahoe. And then he comes knocking on my window, and he's like, hey, we're going back up. She made us lemongrass chicken, and it was delicious. It was the most random side quest I think I've ever done in my entire life. It was so funny. But, I mean, hey, it was delicious chicken. We felt safe up there. I mean, I was worried about how things were going to go because we had a flight out the next morning, and I was thinking, if our condo gets taken out, where are we going to stay? If our flight gets canceled, where are we going to go? You know, if things get really bad, are we going to be trapped up on this hill? Are we going to have to stay with this lady? Like, well, I was just trying to figure all that out. But, you know, then, as many of you guys I'm sure know, it really was not needing it to be, which is good, because I really did not want to see, 1, that place get messed up because it's such a beautiful area, and 2, I didn't want to see people in harm's way, obviously. So I'm glad it worked out the way that it did, but that was a pretty insane experience, and I was like, man, I have horrible luck. If that happened of all times, the 7 days I happened to be in Hawaii, it's like a once in a decade of type event. But yeah, that was crazy, and everyone was like, why didn't you live stream it? I only have this phone, which by the way is my phone again. I'm using my phone to stream, and then I've got my laptop up for chat. When Garrett and I split, like when we parted ways business-wise, he kept everything. I don't have any stream set up anymore. I let him keep everything. I don't have a radio. I don't have cameras. I don't have a separate phone. I don't have anything because I'm not chasing anymore. He needs all that stuff. That was purely by accident that I ended up in a major tsunami risk zone. Like that was not supposed to happen. But everything ended up being fine. Our flight didn't even get delayed, which was crazy. So we got out on time the following morning, had a smooth flight back. Got back home to my parents' house, and then hopped in my mom's car because this was still at the shop at the time. And drove down to Eugene, spent a day and a half down there. Then I came back up to get this so I could get my mom her car back. It should be the last time I ever have to borrow her car. Hopefully, I really should. I'm literally about to add a 3rd car to the fleet. So if all 3 of my cars aren't working, I think I have bigger problems. Yeah, so that's everything that has happened to bring us to this point. Now, a couple things that I want to update you guys on is what's going on with this car. So, as a lot of you know, this thing was pretty effed up. Like we messed this thing up big time. Driveline was shot, as I mentioned before. That was just replaced today, so that was the first of many things to get replaced, or first of two things that I've done so far. The second thing, I got a new suction cup for my radar detector because that old suction cup broke months ago, and it was just a pain in my ass. The thing kept pulling off. Got a new one. Next up, running lights up front. There's 4 little running lights, little white ones. I replaced all those because all 4 of them got shattered by hail at some point, or debris, or whatever. All 4 of those lights are gone. I think one of them literally got ripped off. So, ordered a new set of those. Those are going in. Mirrors, both of those are getting replaced. One of them is shattered. One of them is still in one piece, but the back cover got blown off, and now there's like tape and residue all over everything. So the mirrors are like $70 a piece. I was like, screw it. I'll just get matching new mirrors. Call it a day. New set of taillights, all 3 in the back. Third row, or the third brake light, the one that's kind of up top, because you got the 2 on either side, and then the one up top too. All 3 are getting replaced because all 3 got smashed during the Morton hail when I had to save Garrett's face from glass. Yeah, so I believe that's just about everything. At some point, this is getting a new lift kit. It's probably not going to sit any higher, but all the shocks are shot. So, got to do that. New upper control arms, that whole thing. And the last thing I need to address, I'm hoping I can do it myself, because if not, it's going to be expensive, is pre-collision system has not worked for like 3 months because the sensor up front got bumped because the cover got shattered like 2 years ago. The actual cover for the sensor up front got shattered, and then this last season we just got unlucky enough to where a hailstone fell into the hole that was already there, and it hit the sensor directly on it, bumped it off. So now it's permanently off-center, and so everything, my cruise control, my advanced braking, all that stuff has not worked. Like I have no advanced safety system in this car, and I have not for several months, and it'd be nice to have it back. So I'm going to take care of that. My charger's also getting some work done. I'm doing all 6 spark plugs, all 6 coil packs, and entire new rocker arm assemblies for both sides. I know for people who are not mechanics that this is sounding just like mumbo jumbo possibly, but my charger's getting some engine work done as well. I've ordered everything that needs to be done on those, so I'm going to have a couple shop days coming up. In addition to all the stuff that I bought for this, it also needs an oil change, transmission fluid flush, coolant flush, front and rear differentials, and transfer case. I don't know if I need to address power steering or not. Maybe. That's something I'll toss in there. But pretty much everything from this point on I plan to do myself on this, aside from probably that front sensor, just because I think that's going to have to be something that a Toyota dealership does, which sucks because I know they're probably going to charge me like $1,500 to fix it. I'm hoping CarShield will take care of some of that. So that's my plan with this. Most of that work has not happened yet. Again, the only thing that's been replaced is new drive shafts and new U-joints front and rear, and then a new suction cup for my radar detector, and then took a lot of the equipment off of the roof, or the equipment mounts rather. Traction boards are still up there. Starlink's still up there, and WeBoost is still up there, but everything's pretty much flat mounted because I had to make it fit. The garage that I'm renting has a lot lower clearance than I thought it did, because I started renting it sight unseen because I had to. Like it was the only one that I could find that really met what I was trying to find, and I thought there was a horse walking down the interstate. It's a dude walking a bike. that's sort of what's been going on. So sorry to ramble, but just kind of wanted to update you guys on what's going on. Even though I plan on not using this much, I want you guys to know, that those of you that are like OG, like Storm Runner Media, and I guess Storm Runner fans, like fans of this car, and don't want to see it just abandoned. I'm not abandoning it. I'm still putting a lot of work into it to maintain it to be as decent as it possibly can be. But I mean, it's just in rough shape. I mean, I have significant paint damage on the passenger side. Like, if I were to bring this to my insurance, it would be totaled. It would definitely be totaled. This poor car's been through so much. But here, I got about 15 minutes left I can stream, so we can read chat here for a little bit. Thanks for the update. You're very welcome. Hey, you're welcome, Beverly. Amanda, I did not. When I go to Hawaii, or when my family goes to Hawaii, we're not very touristy people, if that makes sense. I was touristy this time in the fact that I chose to rent a convertible Mustang because I just wanted the experience of driving a convertible. I would never buy one. Not a chance I would ever buy a convertible. No hate to those who own one, but it's just the issues that they have. Don't want to deal with it. But I was like, hey, you know what? This is probably the only time that I'll ever rent one, so I'm going to have fun with it. And I did, and it was awesome. But literally, case in point, halfway through the rental, one of the windows wouldn't roll up all the way, so there was just a gap between the rear and the front window. And there's nothing you can do about it. So I'm like, dude, if it rains, like, that side of this car is going to be messed up. Do I surf? Nah. I'm not an excellent swimmer. I can swim, but I'm not like sufficient. Yeah, Kai, exactly. So I'm pretty much on my own with this thing. But I am dailying it until I get. Oh, that's the last thing. I'm getting a new car. Why is this car tailing this truck so close? Holy crap! I'm in the market for a new car. Looking at probably Dodge Challenger. I was thinking maybe Subaru WRX, but I don't really want to deal with head gasket issues. Leaning towards getting a manual though. I've never owned a manual, but I think it'd be cool. So yeah, once I get that figured out, I'm sure I'll update on what I get, just for anyone who's interested, I guess. I would love to know what my plans in Oregon, the Oregon area will be. Just to kind of live a normal life, I guess. I start my new job probably the 11th, August 11th. Working at a local auto repair center. Working up front at the front desk, service advisor type deal, but it's a local family-run place, so I'll be doing more than just your typical service advisor would, just because there's not that many people working there. So I pretty much got that lined up. I'll be actively working within 2 weeks. Manual becoming a dangerous species. Yeah, you have a WRX? Nice. Where am I driving from? Where's Sasha and family? My family's up in Wilsonville. I'm headed down to Eugene because that's where Sasha lives. So I'm driving down. She's got her apartment to herself for a while. Her roommates are all out of town for one reason or another. So her and I are just kind of playing house, so to speak. Kind of in that transition from long distance to not. So thank you guys, appreciate it. There. Well, I guess that'd make me look good with the bosses if I could, start bringing in new clientele. But no, I appreciate it. I wouldn't be the one working on it. So a lot of what I've learned about cars either has to do with performance mods or fixing stuff that I've personally had break on me that I've had to fix myself because I either can't get to a shop or I can't afford to get to a shop. Thank you, Jen. Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Love driving stick. Yeah, I've had a little bit of experience driving stick. Like I would definitely be learning as I go, but it's just I just want to do it. I think it'd be really cool. I know the newer cars, if I want to go for what'll overall be faster, I know that I can't outdo an automatic transmission, but it just, I don't know, it'd be such a cool feeling. So I've been looking at the Dodge Challenger Scat Packs or the older 392s, because I mean they can push about 500 horsepower, which that'd be plenty for me considering I've never owned anything over 300. I've driven cars that fast before, but I've never owned one. So I think it'd be pretty cool. When's my birthday? August 5th. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate it. She does most of the work there for sure. I'm just lucky I'm funny. BMW that has a Chevy engine in it. That's manual. That's awesome. I'm assuming he LS swapped it. Surgery. I'm really sorry, Marcy. I hope that goes well, though. Thanks, Amanda. August is the best birthday month. Yeah. Have I driven a Mazda? I have once, because I had one for a rental car, but I can't remember which one it was. I want to say it's like a CX-5 or something. If you're talking about a Miata, I don't fit in a Miata. I'm too tall. It was a shell he bought, and he put the LS in it. That's badass. You're in Tuggy with the stick shift. Yeah, see, I have people tell me like, oh, you'll be faster in an auto. I'm like, I know that, but I want like the sneeze factor. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you're just so much cooler. You're rolling around in a muscle car that's manual. Manual is the key. Thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I'll be transitioning into my mid-20s. Getting old, man. Nice. Thank you, Jenny. What's my favorite car? I mean, it just depends on what kind of genre. I definitely, if I could have any car in the world, I'm a big Dodge guy. I know they're not the most reliable thing in the world, but like I like American muscle for one. And out of the big three, you know, Ford, Chevy, Dodge, I definitely lean on Dodge. Ford is my least favorite out of the three. Like I'd take a Camaro before I take a Mustang. Enjoy the Tsunami Nightmare. It's a good story. I wait till you're 70 years old. Yeah, no, I'm just playing around. I'd say if I could have any car, though, probably the Dodge Demon. It was like the 1 year that they put it out. It was 840 horsepower, just literally a street legal drag car. Like, are you kidding me? That's so cool. Optional passenger seats, so you know it's fast. But, hey, what's up, Willie? 6-speed and a Hemi. Yeah, Michael, that's exactly what I'm looking at. Well, not necessarily. I don't know if the I don't think the 6.4 or the 392s count as Hemis. Maybe they are. I don't know. I just know the 5.7 liter V8 that they've had in them are the typical heavy engines. My problem with those is like they only produce 70 more horsepower than the V6. Like I want a bigger upgrade than that. And I could get, it's in my range that I could get like a 2015, anywhere from like a 20 Sorry, Mercedes is out of the question, buddy. Yeah, Brian, I'm on my way to Eugene right now. Need one with a supercharger. Those 6.4 engines cannot handle a lot of additional power. Supercharger would be cool though. But at that point, you're just talking about a Hellcat. My friend has a sweet Camaro in high school. That would be the 80s. Yeah, my buddy Sean would be jealous. He's got a 2010 2SS Camaro. Literally the Bumblebee car from Transformers. Don't burn out the clutch. I'm sure I will. It'll be my first manual, but it turns to be 6. It's all I need. Gas mileage. Yeah, no, it's valid. I feel like I've got, once I can get my charger that I have now fixed up decently to where I don't feel like it's going to blow up every 5 seconds, I've got a happy medium. Like, I've got this where it's like if I need a 4x4, if it's like snowing, or if I need more space, I have this and I'll maintain it to where I can still use it. I've got my V6 charger that's somewhat economical when it's actually firing properly and not misfiring like a SOB. It does decent on gas mileage. It's you know, it's a V6. It's not totally a gas hog. And then I'll have, ironically, my new daily will be probably the least efficient of the fleet. But, well, actually, no. I still think the Scat Packs get slightly better mileage than this does. So, Bumblebee cars. What am I gonna do for my birthday? Nothing crazy. I'm not a big partier. If anything, I'll probably just be hanging with my buddy Sean and my family and Sasha, to be honest. I don't have like a huge social circle here yet. Once I get the car that I'm working on getting, I'm going to get back into the car club I used to be a member of before I moved to Arizona. So I was super active there, and that was kind of my social life. I want to get back into that for sure, get back into the car scene. Just going over to the auto place I'm going to be working, I feel like there's potential there for me to kind of, you know, get to know those guys over there. But they all seem really cool. They seem excited to have me work there, which is nice, a nice feeling. So I feel like, you know, that's another social avenue for me. But, you know, for the last little bit, my close friends were Connor, Freddie, Brandon, Corey, all them guys, and then I left. So I'm still kind of in that transition where I'm just like, I'm kind of readjusting my social life, but probably hit like a Top Golf, maybe go to like go-karts or something, just with those two. See what happens, but I don't really make my birthdays a big deal. To me, they're kind of like another day. Freddie, what's up, buddy? Garrett bombed out. I appreciate that, Wendy. I'm a little bit nervous, but should be all right. Well, okay, Garrett, I thought that you were a default because you were already with me. I'm talking about people I wasn't in the car with 24/7. I should be better about that, though. I don't want it to sound like I'm neglecting you. It's just because you were already... If I was there, you were also there. You're jealous of me? Why? You're literally famous, bro. Cheap money is in the house. Yes, I should. I feel like moms are not celebrated enough on birthdays. It's like yeah, we're celebrating your existence, but like, you wouldn't be here unless she went through hell for the day. You know what I mean? Got them on stream, or you actually got them? I look a RAV4 with antennas on it. I wonder if it's a chaser. In your driveway right now, send me a picture on Snap, or it didn't happen. I sent it to the group chat, but those of you that haven't seen my tattoo yet. Nah, I was not trying to flex. It's just that's the way I have to bend my arm to show you. Appreciate it. Lots of turkey today. Where had turkey? I just figured I was going to post a video kind of detailing everything that I'm going to do on this, but I figure I'll save the video for when things are done, and I'll just show you guys. Or maybe I'll do like a before and after or something. So, we'll see, but I'm just going to be driving down to Eugene here, and probably going to end this here in a minute. But appreciate you guys tuning in. It's great to still see that, you know, so many of you are willing to tune in and kind of keep up with what I'm doing. It means a lot that you guys still care. Also want to congratulate all the guys out there for doing a fantastic job there recently. A lot of tornadoes that, you know, are going to make people forget about Gary. That says something, because Gary was an insane tornado. But I'm glad that the boys are out there succeeding, and I want nothing but the best for them. So. Sorry, guys. I gotta go in a second because Sasha just tried to call me. She doesn't know I'm live streaming, so I'm gonna wrap this up. But I know people aren't gonna forget about Gary, but I was just saying, like, that was a tornado on people's minds most recently, because nothing had really happened up until that point. All I was saying was that there were insane tornadoes that have happened more recently, so it's going to replace the most recent tornado in people's minds, and that's saying something, because Gary was so significant that you had other very significant violent tornadoes recently. And I was basically saying that I'm proud of you guys, and, you know, I just want to continue to see you guys succeed, and I miss y'all. But as for the rest of you, thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. I will have more updates on the way as stuff continues to get done. But like I said, I'm starting a job in the next couple weeks. Just between moving back and forth between Eugene, going to Hawaii and everything, I have not really had a chance to set up like my room or anything, or like unpack completely yet. I'll do that at some point soon. I'll just kind of be continuing to work on getting settled into just day-to-day life out here. A lot slower pace than what it used to be, but that's kind of what I was looking for. So I'm happy to be where I'm at, and I just appreciate everybody's support. You guys were the ones that enabled me to be out there, and you guys were the ones that enabled me to be able to go home. So thank y'all for everything. Appreciate you guys. I'll check in with you at least one more time this month, if not a couple more times if I get a chance, but I'll try to at least get one more update out this month. And I'm sure I'll see you guys in, you know, the rest of the boys' chats from time to time. Appreciate you tuning in, Freddie and Garrett, and yeah, everybody else. Miss you, boys. And I'll see y'all soon. Glad I surveyed the tsunami. Yeah, I did not want to be there when that was happening, but I guess it was a good story to tell, right? But yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all are legends.